And in Heels is a motivational, inspirational, and educational podcast for women entrepreneurs. Let's learn from each other, laugh with each other, and support each other so we can all succeed together. And just remember, women can do anything, and in heels. Hello, welcome to And in Heels. Today we are so excited to welcome Heidi Leist from Lemongrass Spa. Heidi, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this podcast. I am so excited to be with both of you today.
We are so excited to share your story and your company and your journey. So start us off by telling us a little bit about you and your company and your products.
Thank you so much for asking. It's such an honor. So I am the CEO and founder of Lemongrass Spa Products, and we are a direct selling company located in Tarpon Springs, Florida. That's not exactly where we started. We actually founded the company in Colorado in my home. And that's where I started making handcrafted skincare and body products. And now, of course, the company has grown and we relocated it here in Florida coming up on 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been in Tarpon Springs for 10 years. And are all your products manufactured there? Are they manufactured elsewhere or a little bit of both?
The majority of their products are manufactured right here in our facility in Tarpon Springs.
Awesome.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Very good. Now, we know you didn't wake up or you weren't born Heidi of Lemongrass Spa Products. So take us through your journey. How did you get to be the owner of Lemongrass Spa Products?
Well, it's always interesting to find out what God has in store with us, right?
Yes, it
is.
And
as a newly married wife, my husband and I, we're really delighted to be expecting our first child. And it was during that pregnancy that I really became much more aware, like many women do, of what they're eating and what they're putting on their bodies and what they're being exposed to in preparation for having a child, right? And so during my pregnancy is when I really became aware of what I was putting on my skin, much more aware of my diet. I wanted to be as healthy as I possibly could for my unborn child. And it was during that process, really discovering so many toxic chemicals that were not only in my household, but what I was putting on my skin and also things that I was eating. So I really became aware. And that's when I kind of shifted gears and started making a few of my own products.
Okay, so it was that, I guess I never even thought. So there are a lot of harmful ingredients. So your products then, tell us a little bit more about your products and how they kind of fulfilled that mission.
So in terms of that, I started creating a few of my own products. And so it really started with super easy, simple formulations like bath crystals. And then I started making my own body scrubs. And then I had a friend who was making her own handcrafted soap. So I partnered with her. And before long, I was kind of sharing what I was doing with some friends, and a girlfriend of mine and I had a little party, and we invited some friends over, told them what we had been up to and making some of our own products. And they were fascinated. And they were like, tell us more about this. And so that's really where the concept and the idea came from, to continue my excitement, enthusiasm for creating new products that women were really interested in, and also understanding the safety behind it. Yeah.
Well, we love to pamper ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So pampering is fun. And then you get a bunch of women together and start pampering them all together. And it's like, it's a party built in there, right? So are most of your products, Heidi, then made of natural ingredients? Is that
absolutely
the mission that came out of it?
The mission that came out of it was finding ingredients that were as all natural as possible and healthy, and offering just a little bit something different that you couldn't find maybe in the retail stores.
Okay. Now the holidays are fast approaching.
Yes,
and so we wanted you to feature some of your products today and tell us a little bit about them so we can get a little more in depth with that. And then we're going to, follow our traditional, inspire us, motivate us, and educate us. But before we get to that point, we were going to play a little bit today. We want to know a little bit about your products.
Well, absolutely. I know one of the things that we are known for here at Lemongrass Spa is our hero product, and that is our Healing Elements Balm. It's one
Okay.
of the very first products that we created. And what it is, I had women, especially moms, saying, my kids are suffering with different types of skin conditions. So we created a petroleum-free alternative, and it's called Healing Elements Balm.
Oh,
Well, it's
nice.
not how it was originally intended. It started out as a baby bottoms up balm because it was a
Okay.
rash cream, right?
Okay.
And
Mhm.
so what we found is so many people were using it, whole families were using it for different types of skin issues. And so we renamed it Healing Elements Balm so that
Okay.
everybody in the family could use it, even men, moms, and of course kiddos, just like it was originally intended. So that's
Yeah.
been an item, like I said, it's our hero product. It's our bestseller every single year. And it's something that we feel really confident about making sure that every home has a Healing Elements.
Oh, I love
That's
that. I
amazing.
love that.
That's amazing.
I
Okay.
think one of the biggest attributes of this product, not only is it the zinc oxide that helps with skin conditions, but also the combination of pure natural oils and an essential oil blend of lavender and vanilla, which is
Oh, so
really
the smell is
calming. So it
fabulous too.
smells
Yeah.
so nice as well.
Very good.
Yep.
And now, any
Mhm.
other holiday products you want to feature?
Oh, absolutely. So, another collection of ours that's really popular and it's timeless. Every year we do come out with a version with this, but it's called our peppermint stick. And of course, it's all natural essential oil, peppermint essential oil. We have the lotion this year as well as a room spray. We paired it with a prebiotic hand wash, so it's really
Oh,
hydrating and
nice.
moisturizing. So this is wonderful for the kitchen sink. We've got a little mini
Oh,
2 ounce
very
that you
good.
can travel with you. We call these lotion buddies, and we also
Oh,
have it in
Love
a
that.
lip butter. It is so nice.
Well, I don't know about
So
you,
great
but if
for the
I were to
holiday
open that
season.
on Christmas,
yeah,
I'd be so
really.
excited about like, oh my gosh, look at the
You'd be so
peppermint. And then it's
excited.
all a family of, I would be,
So,
for women, that
exactly.
delights us,
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, with the packaging, we always have these cute little bags. So if
Nice.
you buy any of the gift sets or collections from us, it includes one of these decorator bags that you can use throughout the whole season. It's just so perfectly packaged.
Love that.
Yeah,
All
that's
right. So we have a
amazing.
few minutes to play, and then we have to get on to the agenda. Anything else you want to share with us before we move on?
There's a few things that, in addition, that obviously lemongrass is known for. One of them are nourishing body polishes. It's like a
Okay.
sugar scrub, and so
Love
we
sugar
we
scrubs.
offer a lot of those.
Mhm.
My personal favorite for the holiday season is the buttercream one. It is so creamy, moisturizing. It feels great, and it does smell exactly like buttercream frosting.
Oh,
So
nice. Nice. I
it's a
love
it's
it.
a calorie-free treat for your shower.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
love
then
that.
a couple other things that we're known for here at Lemongrass is our skincare, but also our makeup. So one of
Oh,
our
nice.
hero ingredients in our skincare line, especially going into the winter months where you feel like I'm just feeling a little more dry
Dry,
than
yeah.
normal, and your skin kind of changes as the weather cools down, the anti-aging oil serum. This
Love
has been
that.
a staple for our customers for years and years. Absolutely love it. Top selling product. And then our mascara. One of the things that you'll notice when you look at our catalog or online is our natural ingredient
Minerals.
list,
Okay.
and
I love that.
finding a good, wonderful, effective, toxin free mascara is not easy to find. So we're really proud of those formulations with our cosmetic line as well.
That's
Love that.
amazing.
So we could play spa products all day. So thank you for sharing those. I'm excited to try
Yes.
some of them. So
Yeah.
let's talk about, so you're in Colorado, you're gonna have a baby, you decide you're gonna make some products, and you have a few girlfriends over, and now you have this amazing company with, how many consultants do you have in Lemongrass Spa right now?
So we have over 8,000 sales consultants that are representing
Wow.
Lemongrass Spa.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
Okay. So you're in
amazing.
your house making products. You're in Tarpon Springs with
Yeah.
this company with 8,000 consultants. Give us your journey. Tell us about your story. How did you go from point A to point B? And were there any key points leading up to that you want to
Mhm.
share?
Yeah, it is very fascinating. You don't go from A to Z in a
No,
minute.
you
You
Mhm.
don't.
know, there are
No, you
times where I
don't.
look back and I'm like, wow, there was a lot of heart and a lot of hustle, obviously, that went into developing not only the products, but all of those relationships.
Mhm.
I
Sure.
think back to all those people that we've been able to positively impact throughout our journey. And,
Wow.
I discovered firsthand how important self-care was to women and men when I was doing
Mhm.
those events in living
Mhm.
rooms 20 years ago. I
Mhm.
helped guide others in finding healthier solutions
Mhm.
and allowing them also an opportunity to really find what they were passionate about. We
Mhm.
also have helped so many families just add a little something to their income as well to be able to bridge that gap. Whether it was a mom saying, I would love to be able to put my daughter in gymnastics or private school, but I'm not really sure where we're going to find the budget, or actually even just traveling and doing getaways. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that really
Yeah.
fills my cup is
Yeah.
being able to bridge that little bit of something extra that families need in their lives, not only with product side, but also the opportunity to make some extra cash as well.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's
Thank you for
amazing.
sharing that part.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then we always like to, talk on inspiration. Like what I mean, obviously you having a baby was your main inspiration, but there had to be times throughout your business journey, like all people, that what was your impactful moment and what made you want to keep going? Because like you said, it wasn't built in a day and there were struggles, but what made you keep wanting to go on and help these people, not only fulfill their potential passions to make that little extra money, but what made you want to do that every day?
I think every day is different, obviously, and you have those moments and those days where you're overwhelmed.
Mhm.
My task list is bigger than the hours in the day. You have those moments where, things don't go quite right. We've had things like happen, like failed batches of product, or for some reason something went wrong with shipping products, or perhaps someone that you thought was going to take that journey with you decides, you know what, it's not for me. And so you
Mhm.
kind of have those heartbreaks along the way. But I think, you know, as we continued down this path in building this business, we had so many positive emails and phone calls and
Mhm.
feedback, not only at in person events, but also virtually, where people just said, you guys are doing all the right things. You're not only
Yeah. That
providing a product,
reassurance.
but you're
Yeah.
giving back to the community as well. So it was so many of those indications from individuals saying, that they were thrilled about the results that they were having from some
Mhm.
of the products that they were using, but also how they felt like they were able to do something that was more meaningful than what they had been doing previously. And I think some of those life changing moments for me and also for my husband, Brian, because we've run the company
Mhm.
together as a couple, we've had individuals earn some of our incentive trips throughout the years. And they'll come up to us during that trip and say, you know what, this is really the first time I've ever traveled alone with my husband. We have
Mm-hmm.
3 kids. We've
Yeah.
never taken the time to travel or go on a trip where it was just us, or we really never even took a proper honeymoon together. This is the first time we've actually had a chance to relax and sit by a pool or visit a beach, or the first time they've actually ever even been on a plane
Oh, isn't
or
that
had to get a
nice? Yeah.
passport
Yeah.
to go out of the country. And to me, we're offering life-changing experiences. That
Yes.
experience might
Yes.
be helping someone find a product that finally works for them, where they don't have a
Mhm.
reaction, or they know they feel good about it
Yeah.
because the ingredients are pure and natural, or all the way up to earning an incentive trip
Mhm.
where they are taking a vacation that they never had time to set aside before in their lives.
So it's all about serving others, right? Through what you're offering,
Yeah.
whether it is them using the products, adding a little
Mhm.
bit of income to their family, or really experiencing something above where they
Mhm.
thought they could be. So I love that. Now,
Yep.
as business owners, each day is different. And some days are amazing, some days are not. And it can be both in the same day or same hour. What have you done to motivate yourself? What do you do to keep motivated, to keep pushing forward? What are those things that you do or engage in, or what are those activities?
Well, I think, self-care is a big piece of that,
Mhm.
taking time out and planning certain things that you can look forward to where you're going to have that downtime, that mental break, some of those types of things to be able to
Yeah.
really help balance it out. You can work an 80-hour work week, but you can't do that all month long.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? You
right,
can
right,
really
right.
hustle to meet your deadlines, but then you have to take that reprieve and set some time aside for yourself. And my mom was always a big proponent of that, and she'd remind me, or she'd send me a text, or she'd call. It's like, "Now, are you taking care of you, Heidi?" I'd be like, "Thank you for doing that," because no, not necessarily.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
I
that
think
those
as
are
moms
all
and women,
really great reminders.
we get sucked into
Yes,
that world, don't we? Like we're
we do.
business owners, we're moms, we're women, we're doing
Yep.
this, we're wives, we're sisters,
Mhm.
we're daughters, and you get so caught up in the being everything for everybody, we
Mhm.
forgot to take care of
To take
ourselves,
care
or
of
we forget,
ourselves.
yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So surrounding yourself with people who will hold you accountable to that
To
as
do
Oh,
well
that.
is
yeah.
really important.
Mhm.
Because there'll be a lot of
Yeah.
those that you hire or surround yourself with that will hold you accountable for your goals,
Yeah.
or your sales or your productivity, but then also
Yeah.
others that are looking out for
Mhm.
you, from the
Yeah.
health perspective and the self-care. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things that I have carried forward, and where I heard it, I can't give credit to today, but it's, if you aren't your best and feeling your best, you can't be your best for others.
Mhm.
And that's that
Exactly.
self-care factor, because it's all about taking downtime, stopping during the day and taking a walk outside, even if it's for 5 minutes, taking a long weekend and
Mhm.
just saying, "Oh, if I don't have the
Yeah.
means to go somewhere just that weekend, plan a little retreat at home." It doesn't have to be expensive to be self-care. I think that's
Mhm.
that's a big point to
Yes.
make
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's one of the things that we offer that really separates us
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that self-care at home that's very affordable.
Yeah,
And
those
that's what
Mhm.
just
people
those
have
little
really
moments, fill
appreciated
up the
about it.
tub and use some
Yes.
Yeah.
spa
Yes.
products. Like
Yes.
that's a self-care moment
Yep.
that
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
your journey, I know you told me a little bit about your story, and now you mentioned your husband works with you. So how did you guys go from Colorado to Florida, and the two of you decide we're making spa products in our garage and it's a hobby and now it's a business? Like, how did you go from that point to where you are today?
Well, there's a lot of points in between that, certainly to get us from A to Z. But that journey along the way, just really understanding the importance of helping our customers, seeing the growth, and
Yeah.
also
Mhm.
visualizing that potential. With
Yes.
any business, if you're in your first month or your first
Yes.
year or your first
Mhm.
5 years, visualizing what the potential can be for your business is so important, and then
Yeah.
mapping out a plan to reach the goal and really understand how through serving your customers you're able to accomplish that. I
Oh, I
think
love
that's
that.
huge.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we started it in our home, and we actually have consultants who are still with the company who visited my home office, which was in my house. We had
Wow.
our factory in our basement, and we were making products in my kitchen, and we converted one of our bedrooms into my husband's office. And we did all of those things.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we were max capacity, right? And so we
Yeah.
moved it into a warehouse locally. That was a huge move for us, but obviously a much needed one.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
we quickly outgrew that as well and decided a relocation was necessary to continue to
Yeah.
build the company to its full potential.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said something earlier that is such a theme with successful entrepreneurs that we've been interviewing, and that is visualize the future, work
Mhm.
backwards with a plan, but then put steps and goals in place to meet the plan.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes we forget that. We get so caught up in the day to day,
Mhm.
we forget to look up and go, but where am I going? I'm
Right.
working
Right.
hard, but where am I going?
Right.
So I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a good business coach should help you with
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's come up a
Or
lot
even if
too.
you're
Yeah.
Yes.
for me, it's like beginning a business. I didn't have a business coach. No one was telling me exactly how to do
Right.
this, but I did collaborate with other business owners.
Mhm.
Probably not early enough in the journey. I wish I would have done it even sooner. However, there was that turning point where like, I really do need to lean into some expertise in lots of areas of my business and my life. And so having people hold you accountable is good. Yeah.
I love that. And I think sometimes we forget that professional athletes, even though they are the most talented humans in their field, have multiple coaches. And I think as business owners, we have a passion for something, we have a talent for something, but then we forget that we are entitled to a coach also. And those coaches can make a big difference in our journey, or a mentor group, and or both. I think just surrounding ourselves by like-minded people and then embracing those conversations to learn is how we get better.
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. So education, let's talk a little bit about how we stay current.
Yeah. So I think this is something, obviously this is why we host a podcast, because we want to learn, and every day learn something new about somebody else, and keeping in touch with people. I think the pandemic kind of proved that to us. Like, this is kind of our way of getting back and networking and being with people. But there's also a, that educational element of reading, or webinars, or
listening to podcasts.
Right. So what do you do, Heidi, to stay educated, not only in spa products in your field, but just personal development? What do you do to learn?
Oh, that's a great question. You're exactly right. I think a lot of people did some deep dive during the pandemic because they felt like, oh, I have a little bit more time on my hands. I'm going to really lean into that. There's some authors that have been, game changing for a lot of business owners. I do follow so many different podcasts as well as authors. And really, in terms of leadership, John Maxwell, of course, is someone that comes to mind that a lot of business owners lean into. And I think it's because it's timeless advice. It doesn't go in and out of vogue, but I do think that, because he has over, I think, 70 books now, a number like that. I think there's so many things that he has put out throughout the years that are timeless, and that's why they are just invaluable.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, as we are wrapping up today, we always ask our guests to leave like that nugget of wisdom or that nugget of advice you'd like to share with our community of our And in Heels listeners. So what is that nugget of advice you'd like to share?
Well, I think if you've got an idea that keeps you up at night, it's definitely something worth pursuing. And I think for me, that's definitely how I started the business. I continue to lean into those ideas. And when your heart is calling in you in a certain direction, follow that lead, follow where that heart is taking you, and following that passion, because it will absolutely pay off in the long run. And surround yourself with the people who will encourage that creativity and help you make that dream come into a reality.
Yeah, and I think that is so important. Surround yourself with the people that will help you get there. There has been not a successful person you've mentioned, or we know, or we've read about, or any of us know, that didn't have a team of really successful people around them. And we can never do it alone. So find your group, find that motivation, and find those people to pull you forward. I love that. Thank you so much. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure learning more about you and your company. We are excited to try your spa products and share them at the holidays this year. And you were an absolute delight, and your success speaks for itself. So thank you so much for joining us today and being on And in Heels.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate both of your time today. And thank you to the audience for listening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And just remember, women can do anything, and in heels.